All right, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So no big announcements or discussions before we dive straight into Alita Last Order. I'll have a channel update hopefully out tonight, and I've been saying that for a while, but I'll hopefully have one out tonight with some thoughts about future events, future of the channel, stuff like that. So not too much more to add. So without further ado, let's dive back into Battle Angel Alita with the Last Order Omnibus Volume 4 as we get into Chapter 65, Beyond Karate. We have the second zenith of things turning 90 years ago. In the third round, things are still on a small scale then. Zeka battled Tunpo, founder of electromagnetic karate. This clash of giants triggered a huge explosion, and they were both forced to drop out with serious injuries. And you see both of them kind of just disintegrating from the blast. And you have, God, why do I keep forgetting his name? The announcer dude. Not the announcer dude, the other one. Ugh, it'll come back to me at some point. The martial arts master goes, only this record of Zeka's battle remains. And you have the force of the explosion was gigantic. The shock wave reached Teferis through the orbital elevator. Oh, shit. And broke off one of the mooring tubes. There was no official cause of the explosion, but is the first instance of an individual's combat capabilities threatening national security. Oh shit, yes. Yeah, the rest of the second Zot was cancelled. 6 months later, the finals were conducted between Hovian and Venusian seeded teams at a provisional venue on the surface of the moon. The third Zot was postponed until the completion of the Onion frame with its reinforced security. Oh, shit. And Zex is like, a clash of that magnitude 90 years ago? It's like, wait, when was I born? It's like, with insane giants who could fight as Zeka's equal? You have, yes, sir, the good old days. You have the mechanic going, thought I was close to death at the time. He's like, old man. And he's like, yep, I gave Zeka the prototype Physiroid body. Karatekas don't know nothing about no limits. You caught the eye of a real troublemaker, boy. Suppose it's just what happens to the user of Physiroid bodies. And you can see Zex going, the world. It's... The mechanic smiles like, He's like, want to run away, boy? And Zex just grins as he's like, it's so much more fun than I ever thought it would be. We pick up on the battlefield where Zek is just kind of lightly landing after using Toji. And Toji goes, thank you for coming, Zeka. Now, if only the last member, Tunpo, would join us, the space karate forces would be faultless, perfect, exactly like its ideals. Oh. And Zeka's like, no matter how long you wait, Tunpo won't be coming. You see, I killed him with my own hands. Toji's like, what? He goes, Tunpo and I were once students of the same karate master on Mars. And you see this beaten up, bruised old guy with scars all over his face, one bandage covering his eye. As he goes, to you both modes have I given, of secret karate passed down in my clan since ancient Ryukyu. As your initiation, I grant you karate names. You have Ryukyu, his old name for Okinawa. And he goes, you will be Tunpo, for you will smash and swallow the world. You will be Zeka, a whirlwind to snuff any flame. And you see them in their prime. As you have the karate of flesh and blood will cease to be. For you cyborgs will not be bound by convention. Thus begins the karate of a new era. He's coughing away. He's like, Master! And he goes, what separates karate from the other martial arts? Other martial arts are skills of utility. One need only eliminate the enemy before your eyes. But karate trains you to be superhuman. If there is no enemy, smash a rock, break a block of ice. See a bull, slay it. See a bear, slay it. The goal is skill beyond utility. Cultivate your mind beyond limit. Now I give you a topic of study. Tunpo, you must devise tiger killing fist. Zeka, are you kidding? Zeka, you must create dragon slaying method. This is like a game of one of these things is not like the other. You kill a tiger. You kill a dragon. Yeah, farewell. This is so extra. Oh my god. And the master just throws himself off a cliff with a whoosh. He's like, farewell. It's like, master. Good lord. You have dragon slaying method, tiger killing fist. And you see dragon slaying method, a term for useless skills and knowledge. Chinese writer Shuangzi tells of a young man who learned how to kill a dragon but ended his life without ever encountering the mythical beast. The tiger killing fist developed techniques to kill a non-existent beast and a long extinct carnivore. What is he getting at? And it goes, fight superhuman foes. That had to be the answer. And you see time passed. I heard rumors that Tunpo attained the title Slaughter Master from battling pirates, and soon after founded the School of Electromagnetic Karate. To see who was best and to test our training methods, we faced each other in the second Zot. When it ended in a draw, we vowed to learn even more. And then the day came. After an endless, hellish journey, I finally did it. It was such overkill when I deployed it, nobody could escape certain death. And you see Zeka going, Dragon Slaying Bone Crusher. It's a combo tactic using all I've got from initial feints to the mortal blow. But who to use it on? The first feints were enough to kill every foe. Only one man could withstand the whole run of blows. Tunpo. He must be improving on his tiger killing fist. I looked forward to it. But after he passed his school on to a successor, no more was heard of him. No one knew his whereabouts. 6 months ago, I was able to narrow down the asteroid belt where he was hiding, with the help of Embody. And you see, huh? He's looking surprised. And you have, what the hell? It was a most surreal sight, like a dream. And you see just a bunch of floating statues that have been carved out of meteorites. And then you have an amateur carving of a robot. No, actually, it was a huge Buddha statue. On closer inspection, I saw it was a natural iron asteroid that had been carved by bare hands. Only he could pull off such a feat. It's like they look pretty crappy, but they're Robo-Buddha, so it doesn't matter. So you have Robo-Buddha is in the materialist view of the space Buddhist sect. Even robots are considered to have an innate Buddha nature. You see all the statues that he's carved out with his fists. And Jeff, I soon came to an unusually large Buddha-headed planetoid, where I was shocked to find many pilgrims. Jeff, thank the lords! We've come all the way from Titan to pray to the great Pupa. Jeff, what the heck is going on? You have Titan is one of Saturn's moons. You have... the hell? So you see a giant statue of Tunpo, looks like, with his arms clasped, kind of doing his prayer pose as he's covered in ritual robes and everything. And you seek the Robo Jizo, sir. After rigorous ascetic exercises, he has attained living Buddhahood. And Zeka's like, bastard! What have you promised to your master? The vow you took with me. Now you're content being a Jizo statue? Is this what you sought beyond karate? And so Zeka just comes down with his fist or with his chop, and he obliterates the entire asteroid by slicing in half. And he goes, had Tunpo's corpse utterly evaporated? There wasn't a trace to be found. So do you get it now? Tunpo may have died at the point he became a Jizo, but it's undisputable fact that I did away with what was left. You want me, the murderer of your master, to be your teammate? And Toji just as he sighs and sits down cross-legged. And he goes, you still don't get it. What our master was trying to tell us all along, Zeka. And you have a huh? Shit. And he told us to unbind ourselves. You're very bound, Zeka, by so many things. Not that I expect you to see it. And you have a, how dare you talk to me like that, as he lashes out with his fist. And you have a Jing. And you have a hey. He's like Tonpo, who just casually uses Toji's fist to kind of block Zeka's attack. You see a boom as his little crater force forming behind him. He's like, no way, did he just stop my fist? And you see Toji going, Master Tonpo exists within me. This moment was worth 100 years of training. You have my eternal gratitude. As he bows to Zeka, Zeka's like, huh. I wonder if I'm getting old. It's like, yeah, that must be it. I'm seeing things. Shit, I'm so excited. Oh, damn, yes. And you see chapter 66, Raring to Kill. You have, in the name of prosperity and the glory of all humankind, good morning. This is the Jupiter System National Broadcast, bringing you the latest news of the Jupiter Union Council. You have Jovian Cold Coast Europa Ice Farm. Attention Union citizens. Watch the broadcast of the 10th Zok today at 9:25 Standard Time. And you see Jovian Capital Moon Ganymede, Machine City Uruk Sulcus. It is your duty as a citizen to behold the victory of our delegate. You have Jovian Military Moon Callisto, Central Military Base Valhalla. You have Zok Day 6 Block A semifinals. You have the semifinals are finally here. Space Angels versus Warman 609, the Jupiter Union delegate. The Great Zex, as usual, is raring to kill. The thrashing this 2-year-old took from Zeka yesterday hasn't left any lasting damage. And Swolf goes, Alita didn't come back, did she? And Alpha's like, you have to wonder if she really died. Deckman's like, oh. And Zwolf is like, we've got to start thinking about our future now. I was like, are there any nice clients out there? And Zex is like, huh. That punk Alita. If she keeps pretending she's dead, I'm going to take all the juicy roles for myself. Was it what Jack Garambo goes, today let's welcome special guest, Lieutenant Commander Chernov 727, direct from the Jovian PR office. And you have, hi all. He's like, on your head. It's like, my beloved cat Chervy. Like, don't mind him. It goes without saying that our country will attain a decisive victory. It's only logical. It's like, mew! And tell you this match is no challenge at all, but this win will affirm our official position that the Jupiter System Union is both logically and politically optimal. Michael, it's good to see you. Sorry I'm late. What chapter are you on? No problem. We are on chapter 66, Rare to Kill. So we have Zex and Co. against the Jovian Jupiter Union delegate. So we have, while it's true that no civilian group has ever beaten a seeded team in 100 years of the zenith of things, never say never. This may be our only chance to witness an event that changes the course of history, a once-in-a-lifetime moment. So that can't be, because history books aren't published without our permission. It's like, I kid, Jovian humor. Didn't sound like a joke. It's like, ha ha. And you see Warman 609 combines Jupiter's experience as 5-time champion with the entire national budget. The chances of losing are astronomically low. And you see a drum, 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 drum. It's like, here it is, and it's a big one. At 500 tons and 50 meters in diameter, it's exactly under the regulation limit. And you see this giant ball rolling up to the battlefield with the number 609 emblazoned on it. And you have Zex going, now this is worth obliterating. And you see it starting to break apart. As you have meet Warman 609's first form, the Ubernaut. And you see a Shunk as, what the hell is that? So it looks like a rocket, like the rocket launchers that they use. Except it zaps out with a bunch of lights that form a little cube. And Zex dodges out of the way as he goes, I've seen this before. And he thinks about Embody when he did the same thing to Alita, and then when they first got to Fares. Fares? Yeah, I think. I can't remember. And you have polymer capture, a high-speed steam projection that instantaneously recrystallizes into a cube. A technology already in widespread use, this smart polymer can be recovered and recycled, so it isn't counted as ammo. So consequently, we can use as much as we want. You see whoop whoop whap as there's just a bunch of these cubes starting to be formed out, and Zex is dodging and jumping out of the way. He's like, can't catch me. This guy was careless the first time, but now I've got the hang of this trick. It's no problem. And you have a bong bong. It's like, he's been walled in. What a feat. And you see the cube just starting to cement around and forming a giant wall. You have a whoosh. As they basically built a giant pyramid around Zex, and now they're just launching missiles straight at him. You have missiles rain down on Zex, leaving no line of retreat. And you see a blam! As there's a giant explosion. You have, Zex got shot into the air, and you see Zex just being blasted upwards. And he goes, that's a serious problem at point blank range. I punched the ground a split second before. That got me the hell out of there, but it almost cost me my arm. Yeah, since artificially intelligence guidance is banned, we have to use another approach. Metallic helium warhead should do the job. You have metallic helium is a metastable compound of helium gas, solidified in an electronically excited state. Stable at ambient temperatures, it explodes at 500 degrees Celsius, 932 degrees Fahrenheit. It's 300 times more explosive than HMX, and because it doesn't produce radioactive or toxic byproducts, it is thought to be easy on the environment. As Zex is in the air, there's a bunch more missiles being launched at him. You have a second wave of missiles descends on the Great Zex, and you have a hit as he pulls out his blade. You have a fake. So he just bounces through all of them, cutting off the top of the warheads and exploding them with a foom. And you have, a series of high-speed kicks from the Great Zex, and you see a gom and a tump. And you have Zex just grabbing one and starting to ride it like a surfboard as he goes, yeehaw! And you have a woo! As he just rides to the ground, his sword is dragging behind him. Oh, man, he's got class. He's a missile rider, a daredevil of the skies. And you see Zex just riding it off as more missiles are fired his way. And so it's like, that looks like fun. It's like Zex always gets to do everything. And Zex goes, here, you can have it back, as he tosses the missiles back towards him with a scrub-boom, and he dives off as the other missiles converge on it. You have Professor Zex's volleys, a thing of consummate beauty. You have a Zex has stabbed his sword to one of the little rock slabs, and he's just standing on it. You have What? The Ubernaut is... It's like, yes, the Ubernaut has clearly grown bigger. It's got to be at least 100 meters thick, and its surface seems to be covered in a mortar-like shell. The hole carved by the missiles being quickly filled in with mud. It's getting even larger as we speak. You have the Ubernaut supplemental Adobe armor is being formed out of arena dirt. Once we're inside the arena, there are no size limits. It's actually like, sure, it'll be a tough nut to crack, but how's it going to fight like that? We have now for the pièce de résistance. The polymer and the missiles were nothing compared to the main course. And he said, and a ba, rum. As you see something starting to happen. It's like the ground, it's moving. Zex is like, I've got a bad feeling about this. And you see the Michael commented, it's so funny that they're still calling Zex Professor Lowell. I love it. It's kind of become a term of endearment now. So you see the giant Ubernaut just starting to spin in a rotation, starting to just drag everything in towards it. It's like, whoa, as this sword gets getting drawn in. And you have this total annihilation strategy comes from our team's exhaustive knowledge of the Zot. We call it the Jupiter Mixer. Lord, that is a double page spread right there. And you see just an explosion of like a cyclone inside as everything's being torn up and tossed around. And you see on the Olympus Express C078, so you have it open in a now then. Let's just hope I make it in time. Yes! Zazie is back. Oh! So excited. You have Chapter 67, Search and Destroy. So you have Jupiter Union, creaking machine bodies, our cyborg nation, several stanzas omitted, Run Thunder Run, Roar Dynamo Roar, strip mining satellites to support the pillars of the world, Jupiter Union fight song, original lyrics by Unagi Yamashiro. And you see a giant blush as just an explosion and a boom. There's a giant dirt explosion cloud. And you have a huge blast? Was that it? Was that the end? It's like the shield buckled for a second. Was the great Zex pulverizing the Jupiter mixer? Is he done for? The dust cloud begins to settle and... Oh, you see Zex standing up, clothes torn to shreds, shaking the dust off. He goes, I'm a little picky when it comes to spin. And Jeff, wow! It was the giant Uber ball that got pulverized. He's like, how can that be? And he goes, we have infrared analysis on video. He's like, ooh. It was 2.2 seconds after the mixer was set in motion. He moved above the Uber into the only safe area, basically launching himself into the eye of the storm. And its weak spot. Rotary actions have an intense effect along the equator, but the poles are like the eye of a hurricane. Professor Zex uses spinning moves himself, so he's well acquainted with both their strengths and weaknesses. It's like, now what? Zex swells into an obese glob? So then it's a rapid slim down to burst the Uber with a single punch. It's like, wow, it's the first super diet weight loss punch. And Zex was like, hey, call it the implosion fist. As he's Zeka just doing some bike maintenance as he's watching this, and he goes, by timing the implosion lens effect, he amped the punch 10,000-fold. So, the kid's finally got the knack of the Fizzoroid body. To auto-implode with the margin of error counted in nanoseconds ain't as easy as it seems. Took me a good 4 years to master. And Zeka's like, well, I'd say he's out of diapers at last. You have that almost made me look for the undo key. But don't you forget, the Uber now is only one form of the Warman 609. And you see out of the rubble, there's just like these dice-looking cubes forming up. So you have undo the function to reverse the most recent change during software use. It doesn't work on real life, sadly. As you have a Warman 609's next form, the military tripod unit we call Voinya. You see this flying laser gun off the distance. And you have Zex just charging up as he goes, Elite Plasma Boost. And he just starts taking off with super speed. As you have a and Vanya just starts firing down rapidly on him as he's dodging out of the way. And you have no shield can stop her anti-electromagnetic ramjet, 100-meter APFS bullets, and it's futile to run even at supersonic speed. From a CIWS made to down cosmic velocity missiles, this is a weapon with one goal: search and destroy everything that moves. And you see Vokumsh. You see an image of Zex just being torn apart. So you have ramjet APFS bullets, or armor-piercing bullets with a ramjet engine. Drag decelerates a normal shell the moment it's fired from the barrel, but ramjet bullets can maintain ultra-supersonic speed for long range. And the CWIS was close, or CIWS is close-in weapon system. Jack's like, oh no, the great Zex is dead? It's like, no, wait, it's like, what's that? You see just a bunch of as you see a bunch of copies of Zex all just moving up at the same time. And you see a Skra and a Brat as he launches sword right in the middle of the Vanya. And you have a Brat as it fires again to try to destroy the decoys. And Zex is like, try these Zex special plasma decoys. Like I thought, the thing sensors can't tell a plasmoid decoy from the real thing. You have flares. What a sadly simple trick. But hunters have always brought down birds and beasts even faster than you. Like this. And you have flares usually composed of burning magnesium, a type of countermeasure used by airplanes to divert the targeting system of infrared guided missiles. Plasma decoys also trick optical sensors and radar. You have a Kang and a Zoom as next tosses out an EMP electrified net. Time to cover the whole battlefield. Zek's like, ah! As he gets caught and starts getting zapped. He's like, I can't move. And you see all the plasma decoys are getting destroyed. You have the plasma clones. They're gone. This may be the end. You see EMP electromagnetic pulse can destroy electronics and paralyze nerves in one burst of energy. And you see the machine bring out a machine gun again. Zek's like, oh, crap. And you see a blam and a boom. That's the machine gun gets shot apart and destroyed. Zex is like, huh, just when we're getting to the good part. And you see, hope I'm not butting in, as someone offers him a hand and skulls Zex up. He goes, don't worry about it. And Zazi's like, yeah. It's like, I knew you'd come. Yes. And Zaz's like, it's Zazie, the Martian warrior, a powerful reinforcement for the Space Angels. You see Zazie just pulling out another pack and ripping off the thing. Going, have to finish this off, I'm afraid. It's almost time. Michael commented, fun fact, Unagi Yamashiro is the reader. She submitted 2 designs that Kishiro adapted as the base for Chernoff 727 and a Jovian Farmer. That's actually incredibly badass and super cool. Oh, that is super cool. And you see there's something odd about Voyna. He's like, what's wrong, Voyna? Can you hear me? And you see Voyna plunges to the ground. You see falling with a thump. And Zex is like, now go for it. He's like, Zazzy's like, wait, hold on. It's still dangerous. And Zazie pulls out this huge gun sword. Ah, love it. Zazzy's like, when I sniped it, I used a special warhead I've been saving. One currently manufactured only on Mars and in a few ugly regions of the asteroid belt. The next page, you see a grah! Like something's going on with Voyna, but what? And you see it turning into like the shark head kaiju from Pacific Rim. He's like, how could you be so cruel? You fired berserker cells into Voyna? Didn't you? How barbaric! He's like, Berserker, the dead nanotech weapon deployed by Venus 200 years ago in the war, it grows by absorbing surrounding materials until it becomes an autonomous agent of destruction. The Berserker is considered one of the 5 most diabolical weapons created by mankind, along with the atomic bomb, 245-trioxin, the antimatter bomb, and PIPT. You see, 245-trioxin is a gas that zombifies corpses, developed by the U.S. Army in 1969. And PIPT is Parasitic Intention Plant Trooper. And I assume that's also 2 more readers because you have Dan O'Bannon as being the one for 245-trioxin and Tsusumo Kishiro for the PIPT. You have a whoa as a giant like tentacle arm comes smashing down. And you have what? Toughen up the enemy, huh? Zazi's like, don't panic. After the war, duds, mines, and berserker cells got left behind in the war zone. You have a shik as Zazie just turns around and starts blasting. Oh, amazing. You have berserker cellular matter has been completely analyzed. An array of corrosive agents have been synthesized to dissolve it, and you see boop, 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 as the berserker body starts bloating up and explodes into viscera. As Zazie is like, in case it comes to that, I'm licensed as a Class A berserker hunter. Oh, shit. Yes. Chapter 68, Stepping on a Tiger's Tail. Mystic commented, you gotta love that Kishiro actually gave her a black hairstyle instead of the typical straight hair black characters in manga are given. That is so very true. He does do a good job with the details. Gotta give him credit for that. You have search of all blocks complete. None of the waste produced in the last 2 days matches the objects in question. And you have Embody going, Alita may have broken into dust, but her suit, the box with the brain, and the Fata Morgana should still be here. Yet there isn't a trace. Someone assisting them. And you see on the next page, Jack going, sudden backup of the Space Angels, and it's Zazie, the Martian warrior who fought alongside Alita on Leviathan 1 2 months ago. Check out this previously unseen footage. It's like an elite soldier who takes on any challenge with a level head. She has all manner of firearms under her coat. She even defeated Hogan, a space karate master. You have, go Zazie, Zazie! And the audience is just cheering for her. And Zazie's just like, just silent for a moment, hat covering her eyes. And the next page, she's just got tears streaming down her face. She's like, now I have no regrets in life. And Zex is like, you want to be on TV that bad? And Zazie's like, I don't see Alita. Where is she? And Zech's like, who knows? It's like, Zex, are you sulking? It's like, no, and Zech's just like drawing in the drift. I'm not sulking. Zazie's like, ugh. Zazie kind of drops to one knee. Zex is like, huh? Shit, what the hell's going on? He sees these visions starting to like kind of fuzz out as she starts to sweat. And she's like, no, I can't die yet. Not until I tell Alita about. And you see Warman's 3rd and 4th forms blown to smithereens. That means this is the final form, but it's like the spectator safety features haven't been reinforced yet. You have to evacuate now, everyone! And you see, inside Voidness remains is a core covered in anti-nanomachine polymer. It's like it's not over yet. And you see the kind of hexagonal cubes popping out, and you see a poip and a vrr as something pops out of it. And you see the last bastion of the Jupiter Union, Warman 609's final form, Tunguska. And you see this weird triangle-headed abomination coming out of it. You have the last boss. What do you think? So we've grown accustomed to seeing giant robots. It's a bit lacking in terms of visual impact. You have no jokes. The Uber and Voynia designs were made for the Zot, but Tunguska prototypes are next-generation infantry developed in anticipation of the next dire war. You have a war. You see activation of Tunguska 28 confirmed. Orbital dynamo output at 52%. Release safety. Quantum gate conversion at critical. Micro wormhole formed. Interactive power relay established. And you see a swarm. This thing just lets a giant laser beam blast out of its mouth, which obliterates through everything, and goes shooting out through the dome into space. And you have a whoa! As Zex grabs Ozzy and starts running. And you see it's starting to slide, like divert the beam to the side, just cutting through everything. It's like it cut through the shields like paper, or ray beam is slicing through the crowd. You have the damn thing's gone nuts. You have the Jupiter Union rep going, ha ha ha, at last, do you feel our might? It's the absolute victory nation purging beam cannon, the Jupiter beam for short. It's only possible because of the limitless energy furnished by our distant homeworld through an internal wormhole reactor core. Of course, anyone who has learned these military secrets must surely die. And you see a boom as the laser obliterates him, slicing off his arm. And you have a yikes! Get out of here! Yeah, Mr. Embody, it's a code red. And he goes, divert all reserve power to the shields. Activate all undeployed shield generators to form as many layers as possible. I'll be right there. It's like, Roger. And he goes, I was careless. Didn't expect the Space Angels to push the Jovian team so far. They're stepping on a tiger's tail. As you can tell, as the leads are being just slicing through more and more. And Deckman goes bouncing. You have a beep boop or a eep. He's like, you go back from Woboathio? He's like, but where was our master then? And you have a whoop. As they pull up Polita's brain chip and the little F box. And Deckman describes like, Master, we're used to such a pitiful state. And you have the other robots at bottom with a beep, beep, peep. And you have, get as far away as you can. It's like, yes, sir. It's like, wrong way. It's like, what? Get Quosha. I was like, what are you doing? As Deckman's coming up with a bazooka. So what's wrong with you, Zazie? And it's like, I'll be okay. Zex is like, you're right. We can't outrun this thing. Let's go on the offensive. I'll close it and hammer it with my ultimate attack. Zazie's like, I'll cover you. The ECM grenade will confuse its sensors. Use that interval to strike. It's like, thanks. It's like, you got it. And you see ECM's electro-countermeasure grenade, a type of non-lethal weapon, produces a flash and a bang and then spreads chaff that disrupts radar. And Zazie goes, without sight or hearing, I can still do this. You see the forearms of the laser still slicing through where Zazie is. And you have Zazie! As Zex is going away. And you have a wow, 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 wow. There's a bright flash of light in the sky. The Tuskunga is like trying to block its eyesight. And you have a rah! There's like a blow up. And you have Zex going poof. And you have him just blimping out. And he goes, slim down. It's like implosion fist. And he comes back and he just starts ramming into him with a full blow. Mr. Commodore Deckman is such a simpleton sweetheart. He really is. And you see Tuskunga just getting sent flying back with the explosion of Zex's fist. And you have a boom. Zex is like, what? That didn't feel right. And you see enemy attack on Tunguska midsection. Conversion regeneration dynamo 98.95%. System stable. And you have a gah! As the giant arm comes down and crushes Zex. You have my best attack. Not a dent. Out of battery power. I can't even push it back. Is this the end? And it's a vroom, 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 vroom. As the little cooldown area just comes flying down with a flop, and you have Deckman going, Master Dex! And Jeff went, no! It's Elephant's Wolf are getting separated. Jeff, take this! It's our master! And he shoots off Alita's little brain core towards Zex. He goes with it, ugh. As he's trying to reach out towards it. Ooh. And you see a gwomp as Skunga just grabs it out of the air and starts crushing it. Jack was like, oh no, it's all over. As you see the rest of the little Space Angel's base starting to fall down the little cliff. It has Sukunga's grabbing in his arm. You see a little bit of flame and smoke coming out. You see a boom. Something's in there. And Jeff, enroachment in Tunguska's left arm. Anti-nano machine protection ineffective. Tries a Gyoto's class nano attack type unknown. And you see a zach. Something slices through his arm and falls to the ground. And Jeff, what's going on? And you have a kiss and a crack. And something just smashes its way out of Tunguska's face. And you have Alita Reborn just smashing her way out of his head. As we get to Chapter 69, once again to the world of combat. And you have... God, why am I forgetting his name now? Afro Desti going, yeah, but how? How is this possible? Reconstructing your body from scratch is far beyond the capabilities of the brain biochip. And you see on Jupiter Toposphere orbital dynamo control room, wormhole core out of control. Mr. commented so many great double page spreads. Jeez, Kishiro, like the man was really on fire in this volume. Yeah, the system is breached. Sever the quantum link with Tunguska. It's like, we can't. It's like, yeah, what's happening? It's like, send a message to Central Command. Unknown nanomachine attacking via hyperspace. And you see a zlish as you see Alita just kind of contemplatively still reforming. She looks up and goes, I've returned once again to the world of combat. And you see a schwerp as armor starting to form around her. The quick crack as Tunguska's just starting to fall apart bit by bit. Alita just drops through him to the ground. And Zex is just watching in surprise. Ugh. And she's got this little piece of rock stuck on her butt, so she just swings it off. There's a little tail that comes out and swaps it out. Oh, I love her new outfit. And you have Zex going, hey, Alita, you bitch. Sure took your time. Guess you got tired of playing dead after all. Alita's like, I'm sorry I worried you, Zex. It's like, oh yeah, Zazi's here too. It's like, hey there, Zazi, you still alive? It's like, I'm here. It's like, so, we meet again. And you see, there you have it, Alita in the flesh, alive after all. You see Geronimo just hanging onto a ladder as he's going, had to vacate, so we missed the big moment, but Alita's here, and now Tunguska's in smithereens. It's been won for the history books. The first civilian team to win the semifinals. We've called it for them. Although there's no official display yet, the judges must have been thrown into confusion by the lasers. And you see, what now? And you have evacuation instructions and emergency signs flashing. You have the windows to the arena. They've turned opaque. We can't see what's happening anymore. How can we broadcast the event like this? And you have an announcement from the Zot Administration Committee. Due to serious concerns over public safety, the 10th Zot is hereby cancelled. The 10th Zot is now closed. Please evacuate the Onion Frame immediately. And you have, what the? Why did they evacuate when the Jovian monster attacked? You only cancel when Jupiter loses? Screw that! We paid Zod insurance to see this thing. We want to watch it all. You see the crowd just rushing forward as you have, with utter disregard for their safety, facing mortal danger. The Spartan spectators are about to riot. We here at CTV will not accept this outrage. The Space Angels' victory should be announced. And Jeff, if they choose to use their authority to twist the outcome, the 100-year street cred of the Zot, and by extension the very credibility of Ladder, will all come crashing down. And you have a whoop, 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 whoop inside. There's a bunch of helicopters coming in. And you see a bunch of space forces just surrounding Alita and Co. As you have, what the hell are you doing? It's like Mystic's like, the Space Angels, baby, hell yeah, hell yeah. Johnny's just like, Zex is such a hippo. He is. He honestly is, and I love him for it. And you see him body coming in as he goes, the tournament has been canceled. As for you, Alita, you are under arrest, charged with being a menace to interplanetary public safety. He's like, say what? Alita's like, hey, you've shown your true colors. And you have a, yeah, haha, Alita, you are such a wonder. As Afro Destiny comes in and goes, those Imaginos cells are completely different from my original designs. Some sort of Imaginos 2.0, as it were. This is a singular phenomenon that forces us to revise the entire theory of karmic mechanics. Must analyze, must dissect, must slice and sample. And you have, ooh boy, so what now, Alita? And you have, forcing our way through shouldn't be hard with the three of us. And Zex is like, he may not look it, but the dude with the chin is dangerous. Zazie, he can hack bodies. Then again, I'm a million times stronger than I before. I doubt I'd lose now. And Zex just kind of takes a stance, one arm on the ground. He goes, running low on batteries though, but no problem. Got enough juice left to mow down a couple of hundred rank and file. As he does, he's like, uh-oh, spoke too soon. I can't move. Paralyzed. And Zazie's the same. You see Zazie starting to sweat. Yeah, so this is body hacking. It's like my head's been severed from my body. And the body's like, oh, scum. You place such faith in your power, yet you are but flies biting the shell of a turtle. And Zex is like, oh, I got so strong. And for what? I can't even lift a finger. Alita, run! As the body forces Zazie to pick up the sword and try to bisect Alita with it. And you have a kachak as Zazie also comes up from behind her, the gun to her head. And you see Embody and Fro Dusty also coming to surround her. You have a just be careful, wouldn't want to fry her brain biochip. Alita just arms crossed, not a care in the world. You have my surging lust for dissection must be satisfied. And for that, I need Alita alive. And Embody goes, the Fata Morgana is all that I desire. Once it is mine, I have no use for the angels. Do with them what you will. And Alita just looks up and goes, what makes you think that my fate is in your hands? Oh. And you have to say, what? And she just grabs Embody's arm and just crushes it with a splurt. And you see this just, oh. And she goes, this is how I see it. The zenith of things is our war of independence. You will not cancel it at your pleasure. And somebody's just freaking out. And you have Destiny trying to do his best, like mind magic. Why? It's like, this isn't like the Weasel Cyberblock. It's like, what the hell is this? So you have Chapter 70, the only one in the universe. And Alita goes, don't underestimate me. God, yes. And you have a foosh. As she lashes out with her little talon, sends everyone around her flying. And she stops in a perfect circle, so she whips her hand back. And you see all of Embody's fingers just going flying. As he grabs his arm, goes, hemostasis. It's like all pain will cease. And you see him just stopping the blood flow with his mental prowess. And you have this Leo with the fish just snapping the blood off her hands. And he goes, shoot her at once! Open fire without delay! And all of his troops just start locking onto Alita. And you have a tump, and she just slowly walks forward. And you have a, well, kill her! Why do you disobey me? And you have the soldiers being, it's not that I don't want to, it's that I can't. My finger won't pull the trigger. And Body's a nanomachine enroachment. How did she? It's just like, goddamn, that hurt. Like, I was going to show the page, or it seemed a little bit too brutal, but oh, man, I loved it. And Alita's, you gave up your lives to my will the instant you set foot on the ground beneath my feet. And you have a boom. She just launches forward with her fist to strike Embody. And he goes, it will stop. This blow will never reach me. Never. For I am Trinidad, king of the cyber world, ruler, which wherever electrons flow through cords, none dare defy me. Your neural impulses belong to me. Bones, blood, muscle, I rule them all. Again, like Kishiro's just going off with the art. And he goes, every breath and heartbeat is mine to control, and every movement must beseech my consent. It will stop, for it is I who keeps the world from chaos. Trinidad. And you can see Alita's fist kind of beating resistance as it's getting closer. And you have I am true power. I am order itself. And you have ES 473 on Pluto. There's a bunch of frozen bodies outside this little doohickey looking building. You have a fish as embodied walks inside. He goes, the game is over, Dr. Varus. And you have Interplanetary Investigative Unit Order Captain Aga Embody. And you have Dr. Jean Varus. He goes, please help me. It's like, this is it. Your checkmate. And you see his screen flashing to life. So you have Dr. Jean Varus is second Teferian scientist created and selected by the Gene Project. Varus' string of nanotech terrorist acts from ES 469 to 472 killed over 20 million people. These events were later collectively known as the Varus Hazard. And in the image, you see another Varus clone going, if you're watching this recording, then I am surely groveling at your feet, perhaps even begging for my life. Or if the struggle to survive is truly providence, then the loser has no right to live, and you are the victor. No need for doubt, the man there is me. By nature, I am a coward, so this is the only way I can convey and remain true to my purest intention. You have all right, so President Varus kind of struggling under a mass of girders and things that collapsed on him. He goes, human beings are livestock. They're nothing more than broiler hens raised in cages fated to be meat. In a perfected society, human beings must domesticate themselves as livestock. That, my friend, is the truth. I too had ordinary dreams once. To have a family that loved me, to make scientific discoveries, to aid humankind in attaining new heights. But when I came upon the truth, I saw those visions were empty, and so I began my experiment. I would discover the extent to which livestock resist their own nature. I used myself as a test subject to prove free will by breaking down my own moral code. It embodies like, you mean that was the motive for your crimes? You took the lives of countless millions, even my men. You know, the president one kind of recalling, like, yeet, no, don't shoot. And you have, yes, to continue to do evil was the proof of free will for me. Of course, I'm aware it was suicide. But if of my own free will I can walk off this meat farm and be accorded my final defeat in Destiny's great struggle for survival, and if you, Captain Embody, are the victor, then it was the most noble defeat in history. I'm sure you see now that this fight on Pluto was only arranged to test you, and you have brilliantly demonstrated that you're the only one in the universe worthy of defeating me. And Embody goes, don't give me too much credit. I was just doing my duty, that's all. I never wanted such a brutal battle. I wanted to live a happy life with my loved ones. And he sees tears streaming down his face. He goes, and now I'd be pleased to have the victor accept the prize I offer willingly from the depths of my heart. And that is to take and implant my brain biochip into your own skull. He's like, take your brain biochip for myself? And President One's like, he's talking nonsense. You can't take him seriously. No, I don't want to die. And he goes, I've run a series of simulations. You'll be able to fully utilize my knowledge and intellect via the implant. It won't work on anyone, of course. A fragile host would have a psychological breakdown. But you can do it. You can be an Ubermensch, discover unexplored vistas, accomplish feats unprecedented in all of human history. Only you and I remain alive here on Pluto, and there are no functioning spaceships. To return home, our minds will have to cooperate to fix the ship. We'll have to scrape together some fuel and sail for many months. But that loser there would betray you. He would bring disaster to the world if you let him live. That's the kind of man I am. That's a lie! You've got to listen to me! It's like, to survive, you must remove the brain biochip from this failure skull and implant it. I have all the equipment and facilities you need right here. You'll be able to accomplish the transfer single-handedly. You can see a body kind of looking down as he's thinking about this. He goes, accept your spoils. Having triumphed over me on Pluto, It is your destiny to become an Ubermensch. Agambadi, you will be the true ruler, with dual powers of good and evil. You will rule the world the way you see fit, according to your own beliefs. You see an yee and a yeek as Alita's sister stopped him just before punching Embody. And he's looking down with like sweat on his face. He's like, oh yeah, I managed to do it. As he goes ahead. On the next page, you see a whoom! As he gets sent flying back, his clothes just completely shredded from the blow as he flies into his men. He's like, whoa, Chief, are you all right? And you go, bah! As he just spits out like a shit ton of blood. He goes, and yet I did it. Trinidad. And he looks up as Lydia's just like, oh, I'm sure I'm dying to wallop you, but how can we win the zenith of things if you died? Am I right? And Body's just getting furious, and you see him just gritting his teeth as he goes, you mean it wasn't me who stayed that blow? She withdrew of her own free will? It's just like, that was such a well-placed flashback. It really was. So yeah, chapter 71, Karmic Singularity. And yeah, she keeps neutralizing Trinidad's cyber control. Mine too. Not to mention that she recreated her own Imagino's body from scratch. What is the secret of Alita's power? It's a core field deep scan. And you see him just kind of doing like an x-ray vision as you see all of Alita's nerves going throughout her body. He goes, oh, now I can see everything. But what is this? The Fata Morgana and her brain biochip have fused. Does this mean she has a quantum link with Malachi? That she's able to wield his massive operative functions? In her chest, some kind of high-energy void? Has the Jovian wormhole reactor core been imported? And is it still running? It's like such an indomitable warrior, returned from the dead and allied with the most powerful cyber brain and energy source? A karmic singularity, is that what Alita is? And you have a raw! The second just rides his bike into the field, just rides through all the soldiers, like, get out of my way! He goes, you say you want a revolution? Count me in, baby doll. Zeka goes, and I'll tell you what would it be even better. A war of aggression. Alita's like, I'm not into that. Like, why can't guys and gals ever get on the same page? He's like, feh. He's like, hey, wake up, kid. Zeka goes and kicks Zex's head to wake him up. If wah! And a whoomp as Zex comes away. He's like, come on, do your homework. He's like, the cyber hold is released? And Alita's like, are you all right, Zazie? He's like, yeah. And the body's like, your arrival is fortuitous, Zeka. And I have great faith in your ability to carry out my wishes. Take control of Alita. And he's just like, huh? He's like, and why, may I ask, should I take orders from a loser? He's like, it's not like you're overseeing a tournament anymore, is it? From here on out, it'll only be fought by those who want to fight, and only watched by willing spectators. This is our Zot now. Ugh. He goes, go back to your office and sign some paperwork. That's what suits you. It's like, Zeka, how dare you? And you see, oh, haha, I see everyone is here. Très bon. I would like to say something, s'il vous plaît. Firstly, bonjour to each of you. I am Chief Gainier Pissarro Crier de Vivre of Genome Kingdom, the Venusian Block B seeded team. How do you do? Oh my god, and you see this absolute fruitcake walking in as he goes, I'm here to convey the wishes of Zeka and Alita and request Chairman Embody that you permit the Zot to proceed to its conclusion. S'il vous plaît? And you see Geisinger is a genetic designer combining the words genome and designer. Yeah, only the team that wins the Venus Cup may represent us at the Zot. After all, the Republic Venus, unlike Jupiter, will always promote free and open competition. I vow that my team will not only meet but exceed your wildest expectations. For Genome Kingdom has already beaten the behemoth Zot's previous champions. Ha-ho! Joe, ugh. His embodies men are helping him up. The Block B seed, huh? So, we face you guys in the semifinals. Well, go home. I've got no use for naval lint with fancy titles. And you see Venus Cup is local games to determine the Zot representative for Venus. A private event, details unknown, but it is said that all teams are on par with the seeded team. And you see Zeka just going to be like, And he goes, ooh, scary. He's like, Zeka, you won't be fighting me, but my création magnifique. Allow me to show you. He's like, homme de fou, put him down at once. He's like, come and say hello to Zeka. It's like, we. And you see this weird Frankenstein-looking thing coming up to face off against Zeka. It's like, do we hide or run? It's like, hell if I know. Zeka's like, now this will be good. Doesn't know what he's up against. And you see whatever the hell it is taking a fighting stance. It's like this stance, his poise, karate. And you see him exchanging a few blows at Zeka, who just casually dodges out of the way. And you have a whoom. You have, how dare a white belt deign to speak with me? Don't you know who I am? And Zeka just stomps down on the foot, smashes him in the side of the head with a fash as the disguise comes off. And you have, you, but how? And you see him just smashing Zeka in the face, sending him and some of Mbadi's men flying. You have, très bien, homme de fou. He's like, oui, monsieur. And Zeka's like, how do you do that? Knocking out Zeka with such a sluggish strike? And you see that face. Where did you get it? It's like, why me? It's like, this homme de fou. One of the bodies is like, why me? It's like, this homme de fou, a design Geisner creature and the keystone of our Geno Kingdom team. Can you guess why we named him Man of Fire? That's right. 95% of his DNA comes from your genes, Zeka. Absolute flame. Isn't he the spitting image of you in your youth? Oh my god. He's like, of course, you no longer have legal ownership of your genes, so we can't really call them yours. It's like, BioVoir, my patron company, has the patent and holds the intellectual property rights on all of Zeka's genes. Superior Zeka DNA has been used to create numerous BioVoir consumer products already. What the fuck, honestly? You have Zeka beer, Zeka meat, Zeka clothes, Zeka chair, Zeka table, Zeka dog. The name Zeka is now a trademark of BioVoir, by the way. Zeka's like, when did you do this? And the body says, Zeka's DNA. How did you get it? And he goes, the finer points are a trade secret, but do you recall several decades ago when Zeka's brain cells were about to be disposed of? Zeka's like, I've never been played for such a fool before in my life. You have, for power, you exchange yourself for an artificial body and synthetic brain. You renounce your own genetic information. What a gift of nature, the flesh and blood you threw away. The lesson you learned today, friend, is just how much power you've lost. The next page you see Master Zeka! Toji comes flying into a landing to stop him. He goes, hold on for now. We'll settle the score in the semifinals. As Zeka's just got a pulsing vein in his head as he's angry. Jeff, go for it, Jack, quick! Like, thank you, Toji. Jeff, this is Jack Garambo, risking life and limb to conduct a surprise exclusive interview to get the facts behind the cancellation of the Zot. With me is Chairman Embody. Would you please explain your decision, sir? It goes, well, in view of various circumstances, Jeff, wait. And he goes, first, 2 pledges. You must vow to honor 2 agreements in front of everyone here. If we win, you will recognize Tefaris in the scrapyard as an independent country, and on your sacred honor, you will never renege on that vow. Jeff, I have an idea. How about this for the Zot prize? We'll let the tournament champion keep Tefaris in the scrapyard as their very own. We? As he embodies, also getting mad, veins just pulsing in his head. And Toji's like, this isn't exactly what I had in mind, but as long as Planet Karate is safe, it's fine by me. Alita's like, fine by me. Embodies getting furious as they goes, think they can set whatever terms they want, do they? He's like, bastards! It's like, I don't know where this is going, but would you care to comment, Chairman Embody? Oh my god. And he's just on this fake-ass smile as he's just like, and all the people are dazzled by his radiance, and he goes, I swear upon my name, Aga Embody, the 10th Zot will go on, and the winning team will receive full sovereignty over both Tefaris and its subsidy known as the Scrapyard. He's just like doing the whole Jesus pose, like, wow, Captain Embody, you're super! Such a reasonable fellow! He was like, wow, you're good. It's like, it was dicey there for a while, but thanks to an audacious move by Mr. Embody, the tourney resumes, and the Space Angels move on to the finals. And I think I will end it there. because I want to keep this video a little bit shorter, under an hour. So yes, I'll cut it off there before we get into kind of like the plot heavy stuff, which you don't want to cut off. So quick thoughts. Alita is such a badass, and I just love everything about her. Like the casual way she's just like standing up to Embody and giving him attitude with that little smirk, and the way she just crushed his hand. Just, oh my god, I loved all of that. As Michael pointed out, Zex really is such a perfect himbo, and I love him so much. I'm kind of waiting to see what, like, the thing that excites me the most, well, like what I've read from this stuff, and what I'm waiting to see is the shape that the whole like enlightenment thing is going to take with Tunpo and what happened with him. So I'm wondering like how that's going to play into it, especially with Zex, kind of trying to be the ultimate warrior, trying to discover the meaning of fighting. I wonder how that's going to play into his development. So that's super exciting. It's really good to see Alita finally back again and get a little bit more backstory on Embody as well. I feel like I have to go back to the first volume and kind of refresh my memory on some of the stuff involved with him, like his past and everything that went on. But I'll reiterate again for my volume 3 kind of recap notes and stuff. Like, again, it's kind of interesting how Kishiro's showing how I don't want to say weak mind, but how almost brittle men are when it comes to, kind of overcoming and dealing with trauma. Because we've seen it now with several characters. Like, we've seen it with Arthur. We saw it with Byron. We saw it with Destiny to an extent. And now we're seeing with Embody where, these men who don't have like the emotional strength to kind of deal with trauma and loss in a healthy way, end up being the ones put in control, put in positions of power, where then they are the ones that decide, what's best for the world. John says, I might be late, but that punch Alita delivered to Embody might be the most exciting punch in all of manga. Like, it definitely was. Like, I had a doubt for a second, being like, oh, did he actually manage to stop her? I'm like, no, it feels like she deliberately held it back. And I'm like, such a great moment. Like, everything from the impact, the way he's blown back as his clothes are exploding around him. Just loved all of that. Cannot wait to see her going all out even more. But yeah, like I said, it'll be interesting to get more of Embody's kind of backstory, because I don't think I might be missing this. Maybe I forgot about it, but I don't think we got confirmation on who the third brain chip that Embody has that forms Trinidad, who that's from. So it'll be interesting to kind of get the answer for that. Mr. Com, did you feel the impact? Oh, you most certainly do feel the impact of that. This series is, again, like, it's really doing an interesting job of kind of exploring the idea of free will and humanity, like what makes a person. So I'm, again, interested in kind of seeing what the eventual answer, everything we'll get to that will be. I was not expecting Zeka to have to literally be going to fight himself in a tournament, but that should be really, really amusing. Like, he's still such a character, and the karate scenes were so. I don't know if it was Kishiro like deliberately making fun of how dramatic like the karate movies, like the martial arts movies are, with me like, oh, you're gonna perfect this style of master, literally throwing himself off a cliff to his death. That was really, really amusing. But yeah, I cannot wait to see Zeka and the others throw down with Zex and them. Like, that's gonna be like one of the greatest fights ever, I imagine. I think way, way back when I was still doing the original series, I think I commented that I really loved the cover for the next volume, with has like Zeka doing like the rock and roll band cover. So I really love that. Can't wait to see what's going to happen with there. Like I said, I will have hopefully a channel update sometime tonight out at some point. But I guess I'll just quickly mention here. So like I mentioned in my Ascender video, I'm going to be starting to get super busy in the next couple of months. January will probably be the last little while I have some free time before work starts piling up. So I'm going to see how many videos and stuff I can do, but there will be a slowdown. January shouldn't be too bad, but February onwards, I might go on a hiatus just until work stuff is done, because that'll be super tiring. I just won't have the time. But until that happens, like I said, I'm going to focus on finishing Alita and Lazarus first before I do read-throughs for any other series. I want to get these two kind of completed as much as I can before I move on to anything else. So with that said, also Happy New Year. I think I mentioned that in a couple of my other videos. I should have said this at the start, but better late than never. I hope 2021 has good things in store for everyone after, bullshit that was 2020. As always, if you do like my video content, all that stuff, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. My kind of impossible, but I'd love to reach a goal for this year, because I'm going to try to see if I can double my number of subscribers by the end of the year. So we'll see how successful I am with that. Mystic commented, Kishiro was on a hiatus with Mars Chronicle and it's killing me, but I understand him needing a break after 30 years. Yeah, so I guess I should talk about that as well, because people have been telling me to dive straight into Mars Chronicle after this as well. And I'm kind of debating whether I'm going to do that or not, because I still have to collect all the volumes and everything. So if it's still ongoing, if it's on a hiatus right now, I might take a temporary break from Alita after I'm done with Last Order and just kind of finish up some of the other series I have on to go before I come back to Mars Chronicle. But we'll see. Right now, it's kind of still nebulous plans. Nothing's set in stone, nothing concrete yet. But I'll look into it, and once we get closer there, then I'll kind of determine that. So Mysticon Volume 7 will be out in April. Yeah, so maybe what I'll do is during that break time, like February to end of April, end of May, when I'm busy with work, maybe then I'll focus on collecting Mars Chronicle volumes, and then maybe in the summer of this year, June, July, when I have some more free time and I'm not as busy, then maybe I'll do Mars Chronicle then. But like I said, it's still very nebulous right now. Still a lot of time before that happens. No concrete plans yet. That said, thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Till next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.